Hey, it's Mike, and let's take a look at the pre-markets. Right now, the indexes are all down. You have the S&P 500 down 0.37%. The Nasdaq is also down for almost half of 1%. So the reason why all the indexes are down after a really nice day yesterday is that the 10-year note moved up to 1.73%, which was a pretty big jump. That was a 5% jump over yesterday, and because the 10-year note jumped, looks like the markets are down. However, I don't think they're going to stay down. We had a very positive day, and if you look at the S&P 500, we're actually near the 52-week high for the S&P 500. So it should be pretty much clear sailing at the end of April. Usually you have the same sell in May and go away, so I do think that stocks may take a rest over the summer, but we should have some pretty clear sailing for the next 6 weeks. So I actually think this is going to be a good dip buying opportunity if there are any stocks out there that you want to grab. You go ahead and take a look at gold at the moment. Even gold is down. It was up yesterday. It's down. Looks like 2/3 of 1%. So that's down. Bitcoin is pretty interesting because Bitcoin was kind of the big mover. It had some pretty big moves yesterday. It had like a 5 or 6% move, and now it's sitting at 58,373. The high is 61,000, which it got last week. So it looks like it's going to make another charge through towards $60,000. It may bust through that, and I think it actually will. And I heard a lot of Bitcoin YouTubers say that if it breaks through 61,000, then the next target is going to be 66,000. That's why I talked about eBay as my stock of the day, because if Bitcoin does have hit that new high above 61,000 and runs to 66, then eBay should give you a nice maybe 25 to 30% return in probably just a couple of weeks. So the one thing I want to point it out that I do think stocks are going to do well over the next couple of weeks and probably for the rest of the year. However, going forward, probably for the next decade, I do think we're going to run into some challenges with the overall stock market. I think what we're going to experience is some inflation. And if we do get that inflation, then you're going to want to go over and put some of your portfolio in commodities. I already have, gold and silver and gold miners and silver miners and Bitcoin, just stuff that would do well in inflation. And I wanted to point out this note I saw from Bank of America analyst. He said here, 2020 marked the secular low point for inflation and interest rates, warned Michael Hartnett, chief invested strategy for BofA Global Research. In a Thursday note, the 40-year bull market in bonds is over. So that's pretty interesting because we've enjoyed relatively low inflation. Obviously, we've had inflation when it comes to housing prices, student, you know, school education prices, healthcare. But for the most part, when it comes to things like food and energy prices, we've actually enjoyed pretty low inflation. So if inflation is going to be over, you could have a lot of companies that sort of get a lot of low interest loans in order to survive, like a lot of startups. They're going to be in a lot of trouble. A lot of companies that are reliant on loans are going to be in trouble. So, for the past 10 years, you've been able to get away with being an index investor and doing really well. I mean, here's just look at the S&P 500 from 2009 up until now. It's just been a straight ramp up. However, if we do get inflation, then we're going to have probably a decade. It's going to be like 2000 to 2010, where you started the year 2000 at, let me find the number here. So you started like at 146 on the SPY, and then you ended 2009 at, let's see here, at 112. You actually went down for the entire decade. So that's I think we may be flat for the next 10 years. So if that happens, you should look at inflationary assets, gold, silver, gold miners, silver miners, because they do well. They did well over the 2000s decade. And if we do have serious inflation, which we didn't even have during the year 2000, we just had, we had the tech bubble crash and then we had the financial crash. But we have inflation. It's you want to go into commodities, energy will do well, like in the 1970s, all those things. But like I said, right now, I still think we still have some really good a really good setup in the markets right now. Like I said, because the Fed's not going to raise interest rates. You have the S&P 500 near 52-week highs, and you have an appetite for risk. So I think we'll do well. I think the market will actually go higher today, and I do think Bitcoin will probably hit new highs over the next week. Not sure if the 10-year is going to continue moving higher or if it's going to move back down, but you definitely have to watch it because the higher that the 10-year moves, the more it's going to affect the overall stock market. So that's my update video for today. I'm going to have more updates posted, written posts. Also on my Discord, I'll have written posts. So go ahead and check those out. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I do updates on stocks, stock strategies, and market updates. Thanks a lot. Bye.